Go ahead and ask them another question.
Okay, ladies, if you have children, how many and where are you located?
Okay, start there. Head back this way. All right. Do you have any children? How many if you do? And where are you located?
No kids. And I live in Phoenix.
Phoenix. Okay. All right. I mean, I'm in Miami. Phoenix is a long way, so
I'm a flight attendant. I fly.
say less.
Say less. All right. And what about over here?
I have a 15-year-old son, and I live in California, Berkeley, California.
Okay. Nice, nice, nice. I have a son as well, by the way. He's 16.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yes.
Cool.
And what about over here?
I say my name age again.
If you want. Yeah.
Okay, I'm Geneva. I'm 38.
Geneva again. Hi again.
My son is also 15.
Okay.
And I live in Phoenix.
15 gang.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about over here?
I have two daughters. One, my youngest is 12, and then my oldest is 15.
Okay.
And I live here in Arizona.
Got you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Okay. So you said you have a 16-year-old child,
Yeah.
daughter or son?
Son.
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 Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's have you pop another balloon.
I think I'm gonna pop yours.
Okay. So why was your balloon unpopped?
I wanted to give him a chance and just hear him out. He is attractive, and yeah, just wanted to hear more from him.
Sounds good. And why'd you end up popping her balloon?
I popped my balloon simply because California, probably not.
Okay.
Like to be realistic, like we would text here or there, but it'll fall off. California is kind of a super extreme.
Yeah, it's definitely it has.
It's completely the opposite side. So that was pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely some work that you will have to put in.
Yeah,
and,
most definitely.
yeah.
And it's like schedules. It's a lot. So,
What do you do again?
I'm sorry. So I work in investigations, and I also have a bodyguard and protection service as well. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
Thank you.
But that's the only reason. Like, pretty.
All right, so that was the first part, right? So I wanted to show that part because I thought what you asked was very important. And also, when you popped the girl's balloon and you gave information on why you popped it, even though she's a very attractive woman, you didn't want to waste her time. And you stated what you stated, like basically Miami's on one side, Cali's way on the other side. So the distance was like extreme opposites. And I think a lot of men would have tried to play the game to deal with her, probably have relations with her, and then say, oh, you know what, it didn't work out. But you were very intentional about that. And I wanted you to elaborate more on that and elaborate more on why you chose to ask that question about the type of, how many children they had and where they live.
Okay, so I pretty much just asked to get, I also, so we don't know what's going on when we come out. So I have to ask questions. I don't know anything about these women. So I figured we made it to this part and deeper than surface level. I asked about children first because you also have to, guesstimate or calculate how many children you're willing to deal with if a woman has children, right? So when you realize like, hey, she has 3, 4, whatever, up or down, you already say in my mind, well, I don't think I want to sign up for a task that's so big. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of circumstances. What's the issue with the child's father? What's the issue with the structuring of the home? Like, it's a lot of variables, the more people that you add, because ultimately, when you decide to deal with a woman with children, you have to deal with and care for those children as if they're your own as well. You can't just go in and say, oh, I only want to deal with the woman, but I don't want to have no parts with the child. That's not my demeanor. I wasn't raised like that. So I know that I wouldn't put myself in a situation with more people than I want to be responsible for. The second part about that is, me explaining to her, like, I don't believe in those women came from wherever parts of the country they came from. I feel like we're all in a certain age dynamic where it's like, we're not in our 20s. So I feel like they have already had enough of their time wasted by gentlemen or whoever before, and they're looking to move intentional. So I'm not going to, it's never serious enough for me to play the game or go with this back and forth just to gain fake interest or some kind of attention or attraction or sexual access to a woman when it requires, like any of you gentlemen know that women require work. It's hard to keep up with women that live across the street. So me trying to keep, I mean, let's just be real. I can't even meet you. I can't even meet you at the mailbox at the same time. So how am I going to keep up with you on a whole nother East Coast, West Coast dynamic, your work schedule, my work schedule? And like I said, they don't really, they kind of make it surface level with some of the responses and some of the answers. But I ask questions. I feel like you don't need to go, this is not philosophical. You know what I mean? We don't have to go into, you don't have to be Socrates to ask a question. Yeah. All you have to do is have some kind of intention because you need to get to a direct answer. So I always try to ask questions that are going to get me right to what I need to know without all the dancing and back and forth.
Well said. Definitely. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go on to the second part of your audition.
Get him talking a little bit.
Get him talking?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, ladies. What is your idea of a healthy and functioning relationship, and how do you contribute to that?
Okay. Let's start here. Name and age. Answer to this question.
My name is Shay, and I'm 35 years old. I'm sorry. To me, a healthy and functioning relationship would first start with communication. Like, that is the basis of any relationship that you have, whether it's intimate, work, friends, etc. I also feel like being understanding and open with your partner is something that a lot of relationships don't have, and then they fail. Being able to compromise. I feel for me, what I would bring to the relationship is femininity. I'm a woman in every aspect of, the word. I'm goal-oriented. I'm educated. And I mean, the nurturing aspect, you know what I'm saying? That's my role as a woman, to nurture my man. So that as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, name and age and answer to this question.
I'm Geneva, 38. Could you remind me what your question was again, so I'll make sure I answer it correctly?
What's your idea of a healthy and functioning relationship, and how do you contribute to that?
My idea of a healthy and functioning relationship has to be centered around God. I believe that that's the strongest. You have to have a foundation at first, and then I'm really big on communication. I can provide that. I was raised to communicate. I'm very transparent. I feel like a part of choosing somebody is love is choice, right? So if I'm completely honest with you, then we both have the choice to, move accordingly. So, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Name and age and answer to this question.
Cassandra, 36, and I feel like, can you repeat your question again?
What's your idea of a healthy and functioning relationship, and how do you contribute to that?
Okay, I feel like in a relationship, like, you have to be best friends with your partner. Like, you have to be able to talk with them about anything. You have to be able to have the support and vice versa, give the support to them. You have to be able to have their back whenever, through thick and thin. I'm very, like I did say, I'm very nurturing, so I'm a good listener. I'm very intuitive, so even if my partner doesn't really, like, obviously you learn the person, so you kind of can understand, and like if they're in a bad mood, maybe they need some space, or maybe they need to be comforted in that moment. You have to be able to pick up on the little cues and stuff. I feel like I'm really good with that, and yeah.
Okay. We'll get the rest down the
right. Okay, it's that time again. I'm gonna have you pop one more balloon.
It's that time again.
It's that time again. All right. So why was your balloon unpopped?
He's handsome. I liked everything he had to say, and he said he works out. I work out all the time, so the active lifestyle got me, and yeah.
Okay. And why'd you end up popping her balloon?
I just didn't necessarily. I'm sorry. Nothing that she said. Nothing was wrong. Just didn't necessarily feel the outright connection there. So, I mean, pretty girl, like the head, love your eyes.
Thank you.
I don't have anything negative to say. That's just how I feel.
Okay, understandable. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so that is the second part, and um, I wanted to say that that was a great question to ask because that was a question that also had to have these women speak on what they needed to put in-depth details in, and you could also tell which woman it flowed more naturally with versus women that were just trying to say all the right things. And I don't know if you know, but throughout the whole thing, you could tell that a lot of these women were choosing, and they were choosing heavy on you, and they were trying to say some things to try to get the listening ear to make them have their balloon unpopped for further and further rounds. So, did you initially catch that? And what did you think of that in that moment? What were you surprised at the answers you got, or did you think that it was a little bit shallow with the answers?
Okay, so first of all, I would say like when I came out, um, nobody popped. So I guess that tell me the eye test was
Mm,
substantial enough. That's usually, not necessarily a tell because some people like to give people a chance and say, oh, this person not really my this person not really my that, but I wanted to hear them out, which is fine because I believe in doing the same, giving people an opportunity, right?
mm,
But when it got down to that second question specifically, to be completely transparent, I had been thinking about what is a way that I can ask a woman in so many words, what does she bring to the table that isn't triggering?
mm,
And I feel like the question that I asked is basically the equivalent of what do you bring to the table? Because a lot of women will say, oh, the very first thing they think when they hear that question is the man is talking about money or her contributing. No. So I said, what is your idea of a healthy and functioning relationship? And I
mm,
and I asked that because healthy and functioning doesn't mean for the man or for the woman individually. It means how do we come together?
mm,
And then I asked, what do they contribute to that?
mm,
Meaning, because now you have to give me some kind of character based answer. It can't be based on just a quick answer to say, oh, I cook, I clean, I this, I that. Because cooking doesn't contribute to healthy, character
mm,
does. So
mm,
I think sometimes as men, we have to be intentional in our questioning instead of just getting caught up in these cliche questions or
mm,
conversation or talking points that a lot of other men on a lot of other platforms are using. Those are not working. So we have
mm,
to use our thinking caps to come up with ways to get to ask a question or deliver a message that the woman is receptive to. And you can see that when I asked those questions, no woman was offended. There was no negative discourse. It was no back and forth. And I also don't want you to give me an answer that you can just think of quickly. I want you to stumble through it because that's going to give me even more of a tale of your character. Because
mhm,
now you have to think about what it is, damn, what is it that I actually do that makes this relationship function?
mm,
How am I of service? Am I nurturing? Am I loving? Do I pour into my partner the same way I want my partner to pour into me? Not necessarily by doing the same exact thing, but by doing the equivalent of what my partner is receptive to. Because we require different things from our women than they require from us.
correct.
So, I tried to be meticulous with my words because I didn't want it to be misconstrued or taken out of context. So I feel like the way I worded that question was the best possible way I can word it and get as close to the type of answer that I'm looking for without aggression, anger, or triggering on either side.
Exactly.
And, and you
And
know
I,
what?
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Major.
It's I hear what you did. I feel what you did. I think it's a smart decision, a very smart choice. It's going to get you obviously dividends. It's going to advance you without you having all the negative stigma. But it's very telling that you should even have to do that. You
Correct.
know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely,
It,
absolutely.
it shouldn't have to be that way. We should be able to speak our minds and just say what we
Hmm.
gotta say, but you gotta walk on eggshells,
I was just about to say
unfortunately,
that.
because a lot of times some people are not mature enough to just answer a question at the face value of the question. They get triggered very easily. Very telling.
Absolutely,
Very
absolutely.
telling. Go ahead, Aaron.
It is very telling, and a lot of times when we are in um situations where we have to, and I keep trying to bring it home. We have to show our character. Our character is the only way that can get us out of the circumstance or get us through this situation. And it is a very tell that when people are triggered by character-based questions, or they instantly assume, because let's just say I came out and say, oh, what do you bring to the table? A lot of times the triggering just starts, the balloon will get popped, or you just get canceled, but they never take the time to actually ask me a question as to exactly what I mean. They just instantly assume. So you know what they say, what happens when you assume, right? So
I know exactly what they say.
So everybody looking stupid because my perception or your perception and my reality aren't matching. And that's and sometimes, and it happens on both ends. Sometimes the woman will say something and the man is necessarily triggered because he thinks she means it in a manner in which is not necessarily genuine or not necessarily honest. And we both have to work on how we talk to each other, how we speak to each other. I should be able to come to the table and be transparent. Hey, when you do this or when you say this, this is how it makes me feel. You should be able to have the same place to say, hey, when you do this or when you say this, this is how it makes me feel. And then we come to some kind of consensus of how we can work and build this thing together.
Yes.
So I think that, so for me, I tried to ask questions that we can build a foundation on. And I think that people are so caught up in the second, third, and fourth floor of the building that they forget about the foundation and the ground level. And so when the pretenses of the relationship are based on everything that is the aesthetic or the superficial or the financial or the resource realm, and we haven't done any of the interpersonal work with one another, then we're basically building the foundation upside down. You have to find a way. And I said to myself, I want to be able to find a partner who I can come in today and I don't have it. And when I say I don't have it, I don't mean money. I mean, I don't have it. I don't have the mental today. I don't really have a lot of words. I don't really have anything to pour today. So today you may have to do 100% because I don't have it. And then tomorrow the roles may flip and you don't have it because we go through seasons. Like, we're still people, right? So how can we get to a point where I can come to you and speak on how I truly feel? And this is the part where people say emotional intelligence, right? It's a big topic, that a big common word that is used, especially by a lot of the women today, right?
Yeah.
But emotional intelligence isn't a one-sided argument or narrative. And I come to find that often the emotional intelligence is welcome when it's beneficial on one side, and it's shunned it's shunned when it's time for the man to hold the woman accountable to a certain extent.
Exactly.
Now we talking now. Hold up.
Now, I mean, you said you wanted to cook. We doing
There
it.
it is. That's it. Because even what you just said just now, right? The last thing that you said, yeah, today I might don't got it. I ain't talking about money. It's very telling that you had to say that, because even if it was money, what's the problem?
Yeah.
We supposedly together, right?
Fair enough.
You understand what I'm saying? And this
enough.
is the problem. We have to teach a lot of these young women out here, and some young men too, to unthink some of these norms. You know what I'm saying? Because, a woman just expect you to kind of be Superman and, you know, just do everything that she want all the time, understand everything that she needs without even communicating any of that to you, right? But when you have similar demands, it's a problem. And that's the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about, because quite frankly, some of us is scared. You feel me?
Well, clearly I ain't scared, because you see I left alone, right?
Yeah.
So what it is, and I'm glad that you touched on that, because like I said previously before, when a man has a certain standard or certain boundary, it is often ruled as narcissistic or controlling or he is temperamental. All these different monikers are placed on him. And when a woman come and say the same exact standard or boundary, oh, she's just doing what's best for her, it's championed.
Speaking of
And
truth.
why is it that one gender is allowed to have a certain standard level and the other gender is supposed to adhere to that gender standard level while completely being disregarded by what they need to be poured into them?
Facts.
And so when we put it that way, it's kind of like, okay, this all plays into the dating dynamic and the reason why we aren't getting married as much as we used to. And the reason why relationships aren't lasting as long, because I think that a lot of gentlemen such as ourselves have woken up to the reality that, hey, it's going to take me more than money to be the head of this household and be the kind of adequate partner that this woman needs in order for me to get the kind of adequate partner that I need in return. But I do not think that a lot of women have come to the conception that they are going to have to offer more than just the aesthetic or surface level interest to be the kind of partner that the kind of men that they desire are going to choose and decide to stay in relationship with them or marriage with them long term. So like you said, the disconnect is coming from, of course, the social media realm and other people who don't have the outcomes that they're telling you about. I don't know how you would go if somebody never did a brake job in their life. Why would you ask them how to do one? So I wouldn't go to a barber to get my radiator changed.
Right.
So
yeah.
And I like the way I look. I'm damn sure not going to a mechanic to get a cut. You feel me?
Yeah.
So people got to do the job and stay in the lane that works with them. But the thing is, we spend so much time being counterproductive, clashing on things that are trivial, that we don't take the time to do the interpersonal work with each other. And I think that we both have to be vulnerable. We both have to have open communication. We both need a safe space. This idea that men don't require, we may not require it as much. Men need words of affirmation. Men need hugs. Men need love. Men need inspiration. Do you think I want to get out there and garnish my weapon and go protect other people and go back and forth and be at work all night and miss holidays and miss this to come home to a situation where I don't feel like what I do is appreciated? Everything isn't about money. Simple appreciation, value, and respect can guide us through a lot of things. And the biggest thing that I speak on all the time is the word grace. We have to have grace for one another. Yeah. One of the biggest dating fails right now, at least that I see, is that people are so impatient. I mean, so impatient. They're ready to pull the trigger on every situation because they've been shooting out. They've been at the range. It's like they've been at the range all day, and they forget to put the gun down when they're in their personal life. Like you just every little thing, you're triggered. You're ready to fire. You're ready to cancel. You're ready to move on. And then we wonder why we have the outcomes that we have, because we're not giving nobody a valid chance to actually show themselves, because that person is working through transgressions, issues, and all of these things too. So like you spoke on, nobody comes perfect, and nobody comes tailor-made for me. I don't come tailor-made for nobody. But if we can sit down and have a conversation, then we can begin to configure that which way that we can go, point the direction we want to go in, devise a plan, and then start to chip away at it little by little. But if the idea is that this is only about me and my wants and my needs, then you probably never gonna partner with nobody.
Conversations 2020.